Welcome back. This is the podcast mini course, and you made it to session number 4. In today's short video, we are going to be covering strategies to grow your show so that you can grow your podcasting income. Now, we already talked about the fact that many people think that the only way to monetize their show is with sponsors. And what I'm really encouraging you to think differently about is how you actually have the opportunity to make far more income from your show by promoting your own business and growing your own income than making a fraction of that by promoting someone else's. So hopefully I've gotten you to come around to the other side to realize that building and growing your show is a direct extension of your income, and you want to focus on building and growing your brand, not promoting someone else's. There's nothing wrong with sponsorships, but if you want to monetize your show, you can absolutely make more income by effectively mastering the strategy behind growing your show and converting consistently than you're ever going to make with sponsorships. So let's get down to business and talk about some ways that you can grow your show. So there's one thing in podcasting that will absolutely guarantee failure, and that is posting a show and waiting and hoping for it to get found. Now, if you are in a super niche where there are literally only a few people in the world that do what you do, then that may be a strategy that could potentially lead to new fans and followers. But if you're anything like me in the business space, where we are one of hundreds of thousands of shows out there that are in the space that we're in, teaching on topics that are similar to what we teach, then you absolutely need an A to Z weekly growth and marketing distribution plan for your show. This is something that we have followed and done since 2015 in the business, and I can tell you without a doubt that this is absolutely one of the reasons why we are now in the top 100 of all marketing and management shows, because we follow a weekly marketing plan to the T every single week, and we've evolved that plan as online marketing has evolved. But a couple things that you can consider, I'll give you just a few strategies you can think about here, and then later on in the course we'll talk about how you can learn more if you want to go in that direction. But today I want to focus on a couple things. So number one, as I'm sure you already know, it is incredibly important to make sure that when your show goes live each week, an email is going to your list, you're posting across platforms on social media, you have a dedicated post to each episode on Instagram and Facebook, that you're creating stories that point back to each and every episode. And that is the absolute bare minimum essential basics that I really don't consider to be part of the growth and marketing plan. I consider that just basic essentials. If you're doing a show, you need to at least be doing those things. But how do we go beyond that? Well, one of the top strategies is making sure that you're consistently going on other podcasts. One of the things that we teach in the Profitable Podcast course and in the Unstoppable Entrepreneur program is that as an entrepreneur looking to grow and build your brand online, one of the most important things is for you to be gaining exposure to new audiences every single week. One of the biggest ways that I've built Unstoppable Success Radio is that since 2013, I've been consistently going on other people's shows, which has gained new exposure for the business, elevated the brand, gained new visibilities and new clients for us. And then in 2015, when I started Unstoppable Success Radio, going on a show a week, every single week, so that I had the opportunity to give value, invest in a new audience, really create bond and rapport with the host, and then promote the show at the end, has been a huge focus for growing the show. Now, most people don't understand the importance of this, but people have to find out about you and get a lot of value from you before they're just going to start tuning in and giving you 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 45 minutes of their time. And that's why going on other people's shows should be at the top of your list in terms of growing yours. Of course, you can use Facebook ads, which is highly effective as well, and building a profitable Facebook group where you consistently promote the show, have dialogue about the episodes, and then private message the members is another huge way. Believe it or not, one of the other most important strategies to grow your show is making sure that you're getting ratings and reviews consistently. People need to be able to find your show if you want them to listen to your show. And without getting new ratings and reviews, which I think we're well on our way to 450 at this point, we want to have 1,000 within the next 12 months. Getting those reviews is incredibly important because otherwise people can't find the show. They need to see the ratings and reviews to know whether or not it's a show that they should spend their time on, number one. And number two, it's what's going to help you to be found in the podcasting platforms that you're on. So making sure that you have a strategy to get new ratings and reviews each and every week is absolutely essential. And making sure that you're doing engagement strategies, whether you're running contests, you're doing giveaway campaigns, you're doing rating and review shout outs, you're doing a contest to pick the topics that you're going to do. Doing consistent things to engage your audience and get them to tell other people about your show is unbelievably important. You also want to make sure that when you bring on guests that you're very strategic and specific about the guests that you allow on your show, that they align with your brand, that they align with your mission, and that there's a way that you can cross promote with one another so that, again, you bring them on the show, you help them to gain exposure to your audience, and you also are looking for opportunities to gain exposure to other people's audiences as well. What better way to do that than to find shows that you can go back and forth on? Many times when I find someone that I want to bring on the show, I'll have my team book me on their show and also book them on ours, because if I like them enough that I would want to have them on my show, of course I want to go on theirs as well, right? So having a strategy with ratings and reviews, Facebook ads, messaging in your Facebook group, right? Running contests, getting audience involved in the conversation, right? And of course, making sure that you have an exceptional repurposing plan, micro content driving back to the show, and all of those little things that really add up to your show becoming a dominant part of your online visibility and a real business builder for your company and brand. So I know I gave you a lot to think about here. I want you to pick maybe 3 of the things that I talked about on this quick video, get started on them right away, and let's grow that show so we can get that money coming in, build your visibility, help you become not only a thought leader, but an influence in your market, and so much more. Stay tuned. We're going to be back here hitting you up again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, with part number 5. Thanks, guys.